I know you guys love it when I don't do my hair. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Just means I don't care that much about my hair. What's going on, YouTube? I am HotMessNess, MUA, otherwise known as Vanessa, and today's video is going to be not a lot of this, but I'm going to be showing you some other things. So there will be kind of a voiceover to this, but I wanted to do the intro. I'm going to be breaking down 3 Morphe brush collections. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, you know, why not? Honestly, I want to show you guys the brushes that come in the Jaclyn Hill collection, the newest one that came out with the Vault, right? The little sparkly silver one. And the brushes that came with the James Charles collection, and another set that I feel like fits somewhere in between called the Babe Faves. I'm going to show you guys all the brushes, talk about some inconsistencies, and maybe break down a little bit of the hype. I mean, you don't have to stick through the whole video to kind of get where I'm going here. I want to start this off by saying I am not a Morphe hater, but I'm also not a Morphe diehard. I have a lot, and I mean a lot of Morphe brushes. I was subscribed to their Morphe Brush of the Month club for over a year. So I was getting anywhere from 3 to 8 brushes every single month for like 13 months. So on top of buying multiple collections, I just want to share that with you guys. Later on, I'm going to do a top Morphe brushes from a non-affiliate. I've told you guys I was going to do this for a while, but since I've taken in more Morphe brushes, I want to share that with you. You guys also know, anybody that's already been on my channel, know that I love high-end brushes. I love Wayne Goss. I love Hakahoto, and Sonia G now is a new one to me. So I like good stuff, but I like stuff that works too. So that's just where I'm coming from. Today's video, I'm going to break it down for you guys, talk about pros, cons, and at the end all, what I think if you really need to purchase anything, what you should get. So if you want to see those collections broken down and my thoughts on them, just keep watching. What's going on, you the tube? Let's get into the video. So today we are breaking down some brush sets that are either popular from Morphe or, you know, just some hype. Okay, guys? We have right here the Morphe Jaclyn Hill newest bundle. She did a favorites, I believe it was last year, but this is the newest one with the complexion faves and the eye brushes as well as the casing. Then this one was the tubby from James Charles that has, which I thought was ingenious, some of the brushes he's got 2 to 3 in there. And it's true, especially with our eye brushes, we do tend to need more of those. Then Morphe also has this set. This is the Babe Faves eye set. So I am going to break down some of these brushes and as quickly as possible to give you a sense of really what's the best value for your money. Now, Jaclyn Hill's brush set, you can purchase these individually. James Charles brushes, I believe you can also purchase individually, but I have been having a hard time finding primarily this brush restocked. This is the M456. I have talked about what a great little brush this is, but in the future, all of these things should be restocked, right? And then there's always the Babe Faves, which comes with a lot. I'm gonna tell you about each set, which ones I think are worth it, if any of them are worth it, and go from there. I have seen these brushes from James Charles because they keep selling out for $250 on Mercari. Let me tell you right now, don't do that. Don't do that, because if you're gonna do that, you might as well get yourself the high-end stuff, okay? So the very first thing I want to talk about with primarily these 2 sets is inconsistencies. And I'm going to show you one of the primary examples, and this would be a con to buying these sets. This is the ever popular Morphe M433. It's supposed to be a MAC dupe. That's how it was created. It's got that little pinched end. And this is one that came in the James Charles. This is another one that came in the James Charles. And this is the third one that came in the James Charles. These have been washed, guys. The brush head is so inconsistent to the M433 that you can buy single. Now, if you can see here, I'll try to get you closer up because, you know, the struggle is real. That the end on the ones that came with the Morphe James Charles Tubby are not cut evenly. So you're not gonna get as good of a blend. It's not as good of a dupe as the original. So for that alone, when this is such like a well-known brush for Morphe, this has been one of their selling points, that alone would make me not want to buy this whole tubby. Now you could take out the 3 brushes, because 3 come in there, and say they're $7 a piece minus 21. Nobody needs all these, okay? So that's one of the cons right away, that there are brushes that are cut inconsistently. Here would be the Jaclyn Hill one. It is called the Jaclyn Hill 33 instead of a Morphe M433. And that one is a little bit better than the James Charles one, but I would still go pick up one that I bought directly because they just seem to look better. There's inconsistencies with the brand because of the mass marketing, and that alone tells me not worth the price point for somebody that might already have a lot of brushes. Now, if you have no brushes at all, none, I'd say this isn't a bad little set. This one, I was not pleased with most of the brushes. So let's just go through. I'll show you guys each collection, and sometimes it's hard for me to get my brain right, but here. I do not have all the price points off the top of my head, but this is the little tubby with the really pretty sparkles. You could buy this individually if you wanted something like this. They also had the one that was the original that she loved with the crocodile kind of skin. I believe this was between $25 and $30. Unfortunately, the sticker that they placed on this to keep it closed when you purchased it, just to make sure everything didn't pop out. It's magnetic and it will close on its own. But the sticker they placed on this left a sticky and it picked up some color, and my box is now ruined. I can't get this off. It has gone in through some of the plastic, so that's unfortunate. Wish they hadn't have done that because everything was packaged inside nicely. So first off, we have this big fluffy powder brush, the JH01. This is a really nice quality brush. If you needed something like this in your collection, I would definitely say that this is a good big powder brush. The next one is this bronzer brush, the JH02. It is the same exact brush. It feels a little bit thicker than the general Morphe one to the M27. So it's the 02 for her. But this one I actually don't enjoy as much as the original. I have another one of these that I use for bronzer daily, and it's just an inconsistent thing. But this one is not physically as soft as the other one that I have. I don't know why. It looks like it. It's denser a little bit, but it's an okay bronzer brush. So for the sense of this kit, it's a good, a decent brush. The JH03 is just like a dense foundation brush. It's fine. I do use brushes like this in my collection. I have a Tarte one that's really good. I don't reach for this, but it's good to have. This one, the 05, I rarely use this. I mean, you could use it to blend out a bronzer. It wasn't a necessary brush for me in my collection. This little guy is very helpful. This is the 07. You can go under the eyes with this and, that's what I use it for. Under eye brightening, I enjoy it. Now the 04 from Jaclyn Hill is supposed to be the E4, but the E4 is actually better than the 04. The E4 is a better brush. I have 2 of these. One came with James Charles, the other one with this one. So I feel like it's actually lacking in the quality compared to this one. This one's just softer and it performs slightly better. This one, the 06, is supposed to be for the under eyes. It's a little bit less packed, but I kind of like to use this one for finishing powders, things to just dust things on, but it is not one of those brushes that blew my mind. And I believe this is one that Jaclyn Hill created solely for this kit. This little guy is the Jaclyn Hill 08. I don't use this. I don't have really any need for this. I don't, it's a useless brush to me. This one is the 10. I don't remember what she said to use this for, maybe like nose contour or something. Another brush I have no use for. Here's the Jaclyn Hill 09, which is supposed to be like that classic highlighting brush, which also comes in James. It's okay. I feel like it's not as soft as this one for whatever reason. So again, I don't reach for it. Now I am very passionate about eye brushes. I love eye brushes. I have a thing for them. None of these, there's an exception. There is a small exception here. But none of these are revolutionary in the set compared to any other sets. Honestly, if you were somebody that needed eye brushes, I would ditch the Jaclyn Hill set and go with the Babe Faves eye set, because I found a lot of these to be more scratchy than my regular Morphe brushes. I just didn't think that these were very good. With the exception of this one, the 39. I believe that this little guy is supposed to be a dupe essentially for the E36. I would go the E series any day now that I own these over any of the ones that were manufactured for Jaclyn. So if I was gonna go back in time, I would not buy this. I wouldn't. I didn't need another one of these. I don't feel like this quality is any better than Morphe, and I feel like actually some of them are substandard to Morphe's regular line. James Charles brushes. Comes with a red sponge. That red sponge is horrific. I hate it so much. It's like squeezing and like when you use a beauty blender that's nice and soft, you want to feel that nice soft touch and contact into your face. That one, I feel like it's causing early onset of arthritis and my hands are tired when I'm done. I don't know, maybe if you're 15 and your hands don't get tired, you might like it. So we've seen this before, the E527. This comes with James Kit. It's a great brush. The E4 also comes in James Kit. It is one of my favorites. I use this one. I have another one in my bathroom and I use it to blend out my powder bronzer. It's labeled as a blush brush. I like a more diffused blush, but you could use it for both. I love this. This is actually one of my favorite brushes. This little guy, the E48, is good for under the eyes or anywhere you want to place color. This little blush brush is the M405, or I think this is for contour. It's actually really scratchy. I mean, not super scratchy. It's soft, but in the sense of I don't like the way it performs. It's just not a favorite. I have multiple of the M501s for highlight. It's a good highlight brush. It's not, you know, life-changing. I think I like the 510 or 11 a little bit more, but I do use this and I have another backup in my bathroom. This little guy, the M439, it's good, same as the Jaclyn Hill one. Good to blend in foundations. I use this kind of thing all the time because I kind of multi-layer my foundations. I kind of do one light layer of like a CC cream or something of that nature first. And this is a good brush for that. Here's this little nose contour one that he included. I have used it like twice. It's okay, it's fine. Nothing bad here. Overall, I have a couple gripes about James's little kit. Let me first say, I love that he included doubles or triples of brushes that you will need to use. I love that. This little guy is a great idea. This is the M512. I just wish that they would have put it on a normal size You could have put it in with here, because now what happens is it sits in here and it bends, or I forget it's in there. And I know that's picky, but if you're going to curate something like a new brush here, couldn't you have done that with this? I know, but he has the ability. It's not like look at this one's over here, it's looking all sad. Look how bent that is. And it's in here, so it's gonna continue to happen. It's just, this is a useless brush for me. They put it on a regular one, I might have been able to get behind it. This little guy that comes in here, the 166, this is great for packing on pigment. I use this a lot if I'm doing a matte on my lid, and I do enjoy this. This one has been kind of an unsung hero for me, putting concealer in places I didn't know I wanted to, mostly with the eyes, you can see. I also use this on the brow. It's the M224, good little brush. My favorite thing about this was this, the M456. I've mentioned it before. It's a great little size. He needs to restock this. But I will go back to my biggest issue with this kit. And it is one of the most well-known brushes on Morphe. It's the M433. It's just cut so terribly in this set, at least the one that I received. Did I email Morphe and talk to them about it? No, I didn't. I guess I could probably call and say, hey, 3 of my brushes are cut like crap, and maybe something could be done about it. This represents kind of what the brand is. You know, some things are good, some things aren't. And I know that's with every brand, but I do like this brush and use it all the time. So when I purchased this set and a brush that's supposed to look like this, looks like this, I'm not gonna tell people to buy this because it's like, meh, we kind of tried. And I know this sounds nitpicky, but when you're spending so much money on a set that's supposed to replace all others, well, if this was going to replace all of my brushes and this could be my end-all be-all, I would feel the need to replace those 3 with how they should look. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to cover overall value. I feel out of all of these, that one goes in there because it's cut like crap. Out of all of these, if I was going to tell you, humans out there on the internet, what is your best value? Especially being that so many of James Charles brushes were marketed by multiples for the eyes. If you've been in makeup for a while, you probably have this brush, you have this brush, something in your collection that way, this brush. I would purchase the Babe Faves. There's brushes that were not included by the others that should have been. The M213 for the lower lash line, brilliant little brush. This one is amazing, the E36. Amazing little brush. You can use this for the outer corner. For me, with my semi-hooded lids and very small lid space, it's a great brush. And the lower lash line. This little guy right here. This little one is the M321. It's nice, it's soft, you can do stuff with it. This one, the E27. It's a fluffy brush, kind of flat on the end, so you can diffuse. This one looks sad, but it's still a good brush. So we're going down by value. So if you need a case, buy a little bundle. Buy the actual tubular, or buy one of these. And then if you feel like you're just needing some more, I would pick up the Babe Fave eyes, because for the most part, you will get use out of most of these brushes. And my favorites on the side, this is what I would also pick up. Whenever this damn brush restocks, the M456, amazing little brush to have. Did I mention this one already? I think I did. The M213, great for the under eye, for blending. I already mentioned the E36, that's how much I like it. The E18 is also good. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit fluffier, so you could do a little bit more with that lower lash line. And then I don't know why nobody had this brush. I mean, all these people are all about color. This is the Morphe M562. This is very similar to the Sigma one. The Sigma one that a lot of influencers push, I have that one as well, and they are almost extreme duplicates. The Sigma one I think is a little bit better quality. It's a little bit softer. This one feels a little more like synthetic plastic, just a little. But if you're balling on a budget, this will do the trick to really blend out crease work, and it's very, very small. So it's a great little brush to have. So if I was gonna go back in time, I would just get the Babe Faves eyes and one of the cases that I like and a couple of the brushes that I mentioned. The rest of these are a lot like fill. I mean, this is great to have for, you know, the lids or placing color, but I still felt like there were some things missing from these epic collections. I would absolutely have passed on this one. The brushes just don't feel as good. James Charles, better in comparison to this one, but I just can't get over the fact of one of the most well-known brushes from Morphe is just so sad. So that's it, guys. I wanted to talk about this one. So this is just for the people out there trying to support their favorite influencers. Hey, you can support by watching videos. You don't have to buy all the garbage that you're fed. And that's from me too. You know, if I feed you something and you're like, man, I'm not trying to eat that, it's okay. You watch our videos, it's half the battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will do a brush video on Morphe brushes in the future, and then I will also do a brush video on just my favorite brushes. And also, I'll be doing a declutter or at least some organization because, man, maybe it's that time of year where you're just like, oh man, I got to go through some things. I hope you enjoyed this. If you need any more info, you know where to reach me. I got Instagram, I got Twitter, I got those things, so hit a girl up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Bye. All right, guys, I know that was, you know, a lot of brushes. Wanted to cover all the bases, price points, those kind of things, just so that way you don't run into hype. I know that someone can come to you and be like, you're getting all this for $150. But if the consistency is, if it's inconsistent or it's kind of a hit or miss, sometimes some things are worth just buying this way. And some things are worth just saving up and buying one brush that you're gonna use because believe me, I have more brushes than anyone possibly needs in their lifetime, but I get on kicks. So that's where I'm coming from. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful and maybe broke down, you know, some of the thought process behind these brushes. And I hope my opinion and my experience helped you. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will have the favorites of Morphe brushes coming soon. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye. Don't forget, you can subscribe down here, and for more videos, click over here. Possibly there. There's places to click. Click them all.